hit shot.
Hello everybody, what's going on? My name is Chicken Fingers and I am your friendly neighborhood commentator. Today I have for you some Team Fortress 2 gameplay. It is a sixes match from NA Iron this last week, an actual match that I ringed for Team LOEM, and we faced off against another team whom I do not remember because it was, for me, only a ringing, which is a form of substitution in competitive. And that's pretty much what this is going to be about, is competitive TF2. I have been getting a lot of questions about how to get into competitive TF2 and how does it exactly work. So today, I'm here to answer your questions finally. For all intents and purposes, we're only going to talk about UGC in this video. There is another league called ESEA, but I feel UGC is a little bit more open and available for the simulation of new players into competitive TF2. When you get to UGCleague.com, which is UGC's main website, you should read the rules, and then you should decide what style you want to play. There are two main leagues. There's Highlander and 6v6, otherwise known as sixes. Highlander is known for one of each class per team, thus the name Highlander, because there can be only one class. In sixes, it's a little bit different. 6v6, the teams are limited to one medic, one demo, one engineer, one heavy, and two of any other class. Players are permitted to switch classes during the game, therefore the class limits only affect players that leave the spawn or engage in match play from the spawn. The normal loadout is one med, one demo, two soldiers, and two scouts. Do please note that weapon restrictions in sixes are a lot stricter than they are in Highlander. Say as an engineer, you can't use the Rescue Ranger and the Wrangler. This normally leads to faster gameplay. Now that you've figured out which league you want to play in, now you should decide, what tier do I want to play in? Tiers are separated so that good players don't necessarily get to stomp against bad players. It doesn't always work, but it's a better system than no system. For Highlander, the tiers are as follows from highest to lowest: Platinum, Gold, Silver, Steel, Red and Blue, and Iron, Red and Blue. For Australia, Asia, South America, and Middle East, there is only one tier, respectively named for that area. Europe's tiers mirror those of North America. For sixes, there is Platinum, Silver, and Steel, 2 divisions, and Iron. That is for North America. For Europe, there is only Platinum and Steel, no Silver, no 2nd division for Steel, and no Iron. And there is no Middle East division. Now you need to decide what classes you want to play. I highly recommend against starting your own team for your first few seasons, as there is a lot of things that need to be done. There are a lot of troubles that can come from starting your own team, such as players not showing up for matches randomly or losing consistently, and it can be very disheartening and make you not want to play competitive anymore, which would be a terrible, terrible thing. So first, you want to go to the forums. You'll find a section called LFT. This stands for Looking for Team. And in there, you want to post your experience, if any. Plus, I think your Steam ID and your name. Plus, what classes you would like to play. If someone picks you up, it will most likely be after a tryout, and you will most likely be placed as a substitute player. Do not feel disheartened if you are substituted. I was a substitute when I first started, but the way I got to main was by showing up for every scrim and every match, even if it was only to watch. This will make it much easier to be placed as a main in the next season, as your team will have time dealing with you, talking to you, and working with you. And it shows your level of commitment to the team. This is how players go from Iron to Platinum. Participants in UGC receive in-game medals that can be worn on all classes in lieu of a miscellaneous slot. First, second, and third will win medals respective to their placing and their tier. Thus, a first place medal in Platinum looks a lot different than a first place medal in Iron. And while fourth and below will always receive a medal, it will merely be a participation medal, which is less a badge of dishonor and more incentive to work harder. So let's say now you are part of a Highlander or a Sixes team and you are looking to get better at whatever you are going to be doing on either team. Of course, if you're a soldier, rocket jumping maps will be better. If you're a scout, scout jumping maps would be really good. And if you're a demo jumping maps would be really good. But those are all just basic skill improvement. They aren't necessarily experience in the actual competitive setting. There are two main ways to get experience to play competitive. You can go to TF2Lobby.com and you can do what's called lobbying. Lobbying is the lesser form of the two, but it's the more readily available, and it's usually the better for the first timer. It gets you into the competitive setting, and it kind of understands what it's like to not have 4 engineers on a team, or only 1 medic, or even a medic at all sometimes. ATF2.org is a pugging system. PUGs are a little bit more organized and a little bit more competitive. They are still PUGs. They're not ranking for anything, but they do have a more serious tone to them. They have a draft setting. Before you actually start the match, you get drafted onto a team by a captain. This kind of lets you build up your name a little bit in the pugging system if you're getting drafted high. This also leads to better balanced teams and normally more intense gameplay. Though PUGs do take some time to actually set up. And if you're going to use ATF2, you have to understand that it's through a IRC system that sometimes can be a little bit of a hassle. So if you're going to start, go to TF2Lobby.com and start doing lobbies. If you already started and you've been doing lobbies, or you're looking to really step up your game, go to ATF2.org. Now that we've gotten all the information, how to join competitive TF2, how to get better, how it's structured, things like that, I'm going to talk more about why you probably want to play TF2 competitively. You probably played a lot of pubs, public games on public servers, public players, and it's never really fun, when you have, you're getting your butt handed to you and no one wants to switch to medic, or no one wants to switch to an engineer, or something like that. Or there's nothing but engineers on defense, and then they win and they go, ha, we beat you. But did they really? No, not really. What competitive TF2 does is it evens the odds. It really shows you how to play TF2, the way it was meant to be played. 1 of each class, or 6s, is high-paced Quake-style madness that goes on in 6s. It's a lot of fun, and not only does it show you TF2 in its really primal core, it shows you the community in a really good light. I think the competitive players I've played with are by far the best people I've ever met in gaming. Competitive brings out the players who are really looking to just play the game and have a lot of fun. And even when you lose, it sucks to lose, but you have fun losing because you learn. You learn like, oh wow, I didn't know you can get up there as a scout. Oh my god, he just wrecked me, or I didn't know you could put a sentry there. Oh, I'm gonna do that next time, And it kind of shows you how other players think, and it's a lot of fun. But not even that. You build this type of family around you. For intensive purposes, I've been playing for 3 seasons in Highlander. And I played originally on a team called White Light. And then we split up, and most of our players went to the team called the Mighty Geese, which was Team Quack. So we went from one team name just to another, and we stepped up into Steel from Iron. And now most of our players are on Varsity on Horseback, which is a team now. And I have to say, of all the teams, this is by far the team I've had the most fun with so far, because everyone is just super nice and everyone's really helpful. And when someone dies, you actually honestly feel kind of bad, like you really wanted to help them out, And that's what it's all about. And even the teams we play against, they've always been really cool. They've always been really nice. Well, I mean, for the most part, most teams are pretty cool. We've only lost 1 game, and usually when we beat other teams, they're sometimes sour about it, but that happens. That's going to happen in competitive, because you have that competitive spirit. So if you're really looking into getting competitive TF2 and you really want to talk, you can feel free to message me, and I will steer you in the best direction that I can. I'm not the king of competitive TF2, but right at the moment, I think I'm on the highest posters of competitive TF2 in terms of actual matches and at least NG stuff. I mean, I could tell you about all day. So you have any questions, you feel free to ask me. Post on my Steam group or on my Twitter or anywhere, and I will gladly fix it for you and help you figure it out. So my name is Chicken Fingers, and this has been an introduction to competitive TF2, and I hope you do go out there and you give some faces and you have a lot of fun like I have. And I hope to see you guys on the battlefield and hopefully on the other teams. And my name's Chicken Fingers. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time.
Oh God, you know this. There is more to this game than meets the eye.
Oh my God! Shit!
Oh!
Shh, shh, shh. Oh no,
That's an engineer.
that's a wild engineer. Go, go, go! Get away!
Go, 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 go.
Yeah.